Well, there's plenty of reasons on why we like to go back to Quail Hollow.
Always good to be back at Quail. Not just one of my favorite stops on tour, but one of my favorite cities in America.
This is one of my favorite tour events, one of my favorite golf courses. Winning here was really my big breakthrough and kind of, open up the floodgates.
It is a great golf course. It has hosted President's Cups, major championships.
The cream rises to the top of that golf course.
Hosted this event for 20 years. It's a spectacular golf course. You need to have your game here.
I know, I remember watching Rory win his first event there, Wyndham won his first event there.
To finally get a win was really the most satisfying thing I've done thus far on the PGA Tour.
There's just some magic at Quail Hollow, I think.
Welcome to Greatness Has a Home, the Wells Fargo Championship. Quail Hollow Club has a special aura. For 2 decades, it's been the battleground for some of the most epic showdowns at the Wells Fargo Championship. It's hard to put into words. It's simply where greatness has a home.
Good to go? I'm going to say a phrase and I want you to repeat it back and finish it for me.
Okay.
Quail Hollow Club is...
Ooh. Quail Hollow Club is a special place.
Yes.
#1 for Ricky.
Quail Hollow Club is breathtaking.
Quail Hollow. It's gorgeous, and it has such a big-time feel here.
Quail Hollow Club is greatness.
He's the king in the Queen City this week.
Quail Hollow Club is greatness. It's a home of greatness.
And he's made his family proud.
Quail Hollow Club is a wonderful group of people who love the game of golf, have come together to create a place where we can attract the greatest players in the world to Charlotte.
Quail Hollow Club is my favorite stop on tour.
From Belfast, Northern Ireland, please welcome Rory McIlroy.
I've had so much history at Quail Hollow. This is 2024, so I've been going back for a decade and a half, and it's a week that I really look forward to every year. I first played Quail Hollow in 2010. I was just having so much fun playing golf and living out my dream.
What a story developing here. McIlroy can now tie the lead here, Nick, with this putt. McIlroy shares it now at 9 under.
I still have so many vivid memories from that Sunday and finishing on the back nine the way I did.
He shot 62 on Sunday and finished the round with 6 straight threes. Pretty amazing.
Silky.
Yes.
Wow. Hey, by the way, he's 9 under par. That's 7 birdies and an eagle.
To win a golf tournament the way I did that week and to finish the way that I finished, you sort of need to have that little bit of naivety of youth or like innocence to not really understand what you're doing is pretty special, I guess.
How about making it? He does indeed! Welcome to the big time, Rory McIlroy. Wow, what a finish!
Ever since I was 10 or 11 years old, I wanted to be a professional golfer, and I'm just delighted to get here, and to get my first win in the US is very special, and to do it on a golf course like this is even better.
I remember going in the newspaper office the next morning and some people saying, now, who's this kid who won the golf tournament? I said, mark my words, 10 years from now, you're gonna say, oh, it started here.
McIlroy's bond with Quail Hollow deepened further in 2015 with his second win. Golf at its finest.
I feel like I'm a much more controlled player. I've learned now how to handle these positions, and I'm finishing the job off the way I should.
And in 2021, he became the only player with 3 wins at the Wells Fargo Championship. In a league of his own, Rory McIlroy takes the title at the Wells Fargo Championship.
Ever since I first set eyes on this golf course, I loved it. That love has sort of been reciprocated back. I think this is the first time I've ever won an event for the 3rd time, so that's pretty cool.
Anytime you can take the best player in the world and then have him come here and win 3 times and love the place the way he loves it is an affirmation of what we're trying to do.
We're fortunate enough where Rory still comes and he's a member here, and so he's part of the family.
When you think of the Wells Fargo Championship and Quail Hollow, Rory McIlroy is one of the first things you think about.
I feel really proud to be linked with Quail Hollow in some way.
It's a beautiful day in Charlotte, a little overcast, but as most folks around these parts will tell you, it will always be sunny.
A special place people look forward to going back to every year.
23 years old, turned pro early, left Oklahoma State.
I'm probably the one that sticks out most with color.
If you don't smile when you see Ricky Fowler,
He was still the all-orange guy with the flat bill hat on Sundays.
I'll always love Ricky.
He was sort of a rock star already.
Ricky's another person that everybody pulls for.
I remember walking through the ropes with him a couple times, just listen to the fans screaming for him.
My favorite player is Ricky Fowler.
They just loved Ricky.
His 3 goals this year: get his first win on tour, to make the Tour Championship, and to make the Ryder Cup.
Ricky Fowler had a chance to make good on that first goal at the 2012 Wells Fargo Championship, going toe-to-toe on Sunday with an already proven winner in Rory McIlroy.
He recognizes there's a serious opportunity now.
It could be a breakthrough win for him.
That's got a nice tempo.
Is it ever nice for birdie, and Fowler now is back into a tie for the lead. Ricky Fowler is going into the playoff. McIlroy will be in it as well.
Going into a playoff and having the finish with kind of that amphitheater that's there around the 18th green. Really put myself in one of the best positions you could.
Oh, there's the shot. There's the shot.
Ricky.
The hard work was done. I just had to make the putt, and really was just telling myself I knew what it did. I had to hit a good putt.
Yes. Number 1 for Ricky. And what a way to do it. Birdieing the 18th hole at Quail Hollow.
Rory's top-ranked young player right now. I look forward to playing against him and hopefully, having plenty more tournaments like this where, we're battling back and forth.
It was like finally. I mean, Ricky Fowler's already a big star. You just needed the moment to sort of stamp it with a victory and beat Rory McIlroy.
Getting my first tour win at Quail Hollow, that's something that will never change and never be taken away, so it's always going to be a special place, a special memory.
There's a lot of people that have doubted or said you'll never win, or there's all kinds of stuff. So it's nice to kind of shut them up a little bit.
As far as memorable finishes go, Ricky Fowler's is certainly right up there, but perhaps none stand out more than the inaugural tournament winner, David Toms, who stood on the 18th tee with a 6-shot lead.
Lanny, this has been some special week here as Charlotte gets back on the PGA Tour map in a big fashion here at Quail Hollow.
Well, they really have. They've done a wonderful job here. The golf course is spectacular, and just all the amenities for the players. They have raved about the week. It has become instantly one of the favorite tournaments on tour for the players.
I remember everything about the tournament, just falling in love with the golf course, the tournament itself, just the way they treated us. It was a new event, so it was kind of like the suspense of, how's this going to go?
The first playing of the Wells Fargo Championship in 2003 was set to be memorable, no matter what. But David Toms made sure of it.
And you look at David Toms, 6 times before this week, he led going into the last round. 4 times he won. This is a guy that's pretty fearless when he gets in this position.
At that time in my career, I was playing well and had a lot of good finishes. And you got to remember, it was a time when Tiger and Phil and Ernie, all these guys were playing great golf, and it was hard to win golf tournaments with those guys that seemed to win all the time.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Protecting the lead very well.
I drove the ball great all week, and that was really the key to me playing well. You know, you just never know. Things happen so fast on the golf course. You go from being in total control to not being in control at all. So I'm just glad I had a 6-shot lead with 1 to play. I made a bad swing. Got in a situation where I probably should have just tried to get out of it, and I probably tried to get too much out of the second shot. Got it back across the fairway into the gunch on the other side.
As long as he doesn't knock it in the creek here. All he got to do is make 9.
I just remember finally getting on the green after a bunch of shots and looking at my caddy and was like, you know, are we okay? And he goes, well, just, you know, knock this next putt in.
Please go ahead.
I tell everyone I just kept the television on a little bit longer.
I love this place, love the golf course, and have some cool memories that I always get to kind of reminisce on.
Max Homa, a life-changing victory in Charlotte, a winner on the PGA Tour.
My heartstrings are pulled by setting up a golf course and managing the turf and the playability and the conditions. We want it to look great. We want all the people and spectators who come out on property to be wowed. We want everybody who watches on TV to say, wow, I want my yard to look just like Quail Hollow.
To host the best players in the world, you've got to have a great golf course for them to play. Keith does an unbelievable job, and you know, the partnership that we have with the agronomy team at the tour and what is produced is truly special.
I've hosted almost 15 professional events now, and during tournament week last year, on Saturday, I was able to walk the golf course from tee to green 1 through 18 and soak it all in, just take in everything, the beauty of the golf course, the conditions, and just imagining what it would be like to play the golf holes. And it was just a fantastic experience, one that I'll never forget.
Behind the perfectly presented landscape lies a true test for the PGA Tour players.
The first 15 holes play a good bit under par to get to the last few holes. The green mile is easily the most challenging. You know, it's pretty hard.
Quail Hollow is kind of one of those ones you can't really fake it around. You got to drive it well. You got to hit your irons well, putt well. It does a good job of testing all parts of your game.
I would say it's one of the longer golf courses we play, but the greens get really fast. There's a lot of slope in areas where the ball will run off the green. So I feel like it's one of those long courses that demand a decent amount of precision, which is pretty rare.
To push the world's best, greatness is always under construction at Quail Hollow. And routine updates were made once again before the 2024 Wells Fargo Championship.
We had to close our golf course this past summer to redo our greens.
We made some more pinnable locations on the green so that way we can get the green speeds really quick to be a real challenge for the players.
But we had to do the greens. So once you have to do something like that, you might as well do the whole program. We added some length to 16. 25% of the field was blowing the ball over the fairway bunker on 16. And so what we did was move it back.
There's been so many improvements made to that golf course. I honestly think it's one of the greatest tests in championship golf that we play.
Despite losing and regaining his PGA Tour card multiple times early in his career, Max Homa arrived at Quail Hollow Club in 2019 with momentum, marking a pivotal shift in his game.
Great place to start your winning career.
How fantastic.
It takes some a little longer than others, and then you never know. Careers take off. I mean, he hit the depths 2 years ago.
His game was in such a sad state that he made 2 cuts in 17 tournaments. 2. That's it.
I used to say when I hit rock bottom, I found a shovel and kept digging. I went to some low places. Very proud I finally found a ladder and started climbing upwards because it was getting dark down there.
Homa's journey into the light began in 2018 after regaining his PGA Tour card for the 3rd time in 6 years. This time it was different.
If you're gonna prove to yourself you can play, You need to do it at a place that's demanding and has already shown that the good players win here.
We've got a young man here about to have a career-changing moment.
The amphitheater on 18 is pretty awesome, and just getting to feel like the admiration from the fans was really special, and to know that we had done something I had only dreamt of for a long, long time.
This is not a flash-in-the-pan win for this fella. I think this is the start of a pretty cool career coming up.
It means a lot to me to be able to do this under pressure, and job security is great, and I haven't had that before.
Excellent. Back then it was, fighting every year to get my card. Now it's a bit easier because if I have a bad week, I know exactly what it takes to have a great week. Your great weeks are going to lead to wins.
He knew when he won here. I'm where I need to be now. I keep building on it and go from here.
Homa's breakthrough victory sparked 5 more wins in just 4 years.
A champion on the rise.
Max has obviously proven that he's gone on to win other tournaments. He's won this tournament twice. He's a star.
And he cemented his stardom at the 2022 President's Cup, going undefeated at the place where it all began.
There's just some magic at Quail Hollow. It seems to, sign off on someone who's going to win some more tournaments. It seems to always lend itself to that.
Live by the mantra and the saying, winners never quit and quitters never win.
For 21 years, the Wells Fargo Championship has had a positive impact on the city of Charlotte. Through its ongoing commitment, the tournament has proudly donated over $30 million to hundreds of local charities, including the First Tee program, Teach for America, and Levine Children's Hospital. The support enables these organizations to realize their dreams and aspirations, making a tangible difference in the lives of community members. With education at the forefront, they have implemented transformative initiatives, including developing a Reading Champs program, which provides books to children throughout the CMS system. They provide crucial support for numerous reading programs, provided tutoring tailored for children of all ages, and funded college scholarships for high-achieving, under-resourced students and children of first responders. Their efforts aim to encourage and empower children to pursue higher education and unlock their full potential. Working closely with civic leaders, they developed an e-bike pilot program to enhance mobility across the community's vital corridors. This collaborative effort is pointed to a positive impact by fostering greater accessibility and sustainability. Wells Fargo and the Wells Fargo Championship extend their heartfelt gratitude to their patrons and ambassadors for their unwavering support in making this tournament special for 21 years. Thank you, Charlotte.
This is Quail Hollow Country Club in Charlotte, North Carolina, a golfer's place. A corner of nature that calls to mind the writings of Emerson. The tempered light of the woods, he wrote, is like a perpetual morning and is stimulating and heroic.
This property before the golf course was part of the largest dairy farm in North Carolina.
Before Quail Hollow was what it is, it was a place where people went out and hunted. It was pretty far out of town, given what Charlotte was back in late 50s, early 60s.
Mr. James J. Harris was the leader of the founding group of Quail Hollow in 1959, and he had a vision for Quail Hollow as a professional golf venue. And he wanted to build a golf course that would attract the best players in the world to come here.
To reach the highest level, Mr. Harris consulted the king, whose influence on Quail Hollow Club stands the test of time.
They said to Arnold, you think we can build a golf course in Charlotte that's good enough to attract the greatest players in the world?
The answer to that question was, and still is, yes. The Kemper Open first called Quail Hollow home from 1969 to 1979.
I look for a very successful golf tournament here, and
Charlotte, and certainly on a very fine golf course.
The PGA Tour returned in 2003, but to keep the world's best coming back, the club stays on the cutting edge.
Arnold always had this saying that greatness is always under construction, and I think that lives and breathes at Quail Hollow.
Mr. Palmer updated the golf course in 1985, and then Tom Fazio several times since.
It's on the same land where it was when they originally opened it, and the layout is essentially the same, but it's undergone a lot of changes. They've not been afraid to find ways to improve it.
Just a year ago, Wyndham Clark cemented his own spot in Quail Hollow history, changing his career trajectory in just 1 week.
I've had a crazy year where I won my first PGA Tour event.
Victory for Wyndham Clark as he wins the Wells Fargo Championship.
If I didn't win that, I don't know if I would have won the U.S. Open, but it's a testament to all the hard work that I've done in these last 5-6 years, and also a testament to myself of just sticking through all the tough times in golf and the adversity that I've been dealt.
He came out of that one.
A little bit of frustration there because he feels like he's had good looks at it.
During COVID, it was probably one of my lowest points on tour. I was the bubble boy to keep my card. I was playing great golf leading up to when COVID hit, and then I didn't touch a club for a while, and then I came back and I just wasn't myself.
He didn't leave it short again, did he? Oh, that's too bad.
Missed a lot of cuts, didn't play good golf. And then I find myself at the Wyndham Championship. I missed a cut by 1 or 2 shots, and just, you know, my heart, I just was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose my card. Fortunately, I finished 125. So, yeah, to look back at that and how dark of a time that was, and now being on the other side of it's pretty amazing. On Sunday, the up and down on hole 11, and I hit it to gimme.
That's a great shot.
It sounds very small, but at that point, it was a huge momentum shift in the round. And then winning that led me to hit all those great shots at the U.S. Open and win that. So winning it at the Wells Fargo Championship really catapulted my career.
The legacy of unforgettable moments on and off the golf course continues. As the club sets its sight on the future, one thing is certain: here, greatness has a home. I'm Jim Nance, and thank you for watching.